Hello, friends. Thank you for joining us. So let's continue to form and build a healing garden as a group at some point within the 12 hours prior to each full moon, meeting DK there and turning our garden into a shrine of consecration. And with full intention of offering our garden as a chalice for the love of hierarchy to be poured in selfless service to humanity. Let's start with aligning with our own soul. Raise your consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. Carry that thought or that consciousness upward through the astral body, then to the mental body, then to the soul, by visualizing a lotus fully open and scintillating with light as a symbol of your soul body. This alignment is meant to vivify the Sutratma and link the personality and the soul into one blended unit. So therefore, place yourself right in the center of your lotus and realize that you, the personality, and you, the soul, are one. From that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the observer. Observe your personality below and visualize your etheric body and see energy flowing freely up and down your etheric spine. And now consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine using indigo blue light, the color of love. Now in your imagination, raise it slowly via the 5 centers up the etheric spine, then to the ajna, then to the crown, up into the soul body. By saying the soul mantra with joyous confidence. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And sound the Om as if you were the soul, fully liberated, in full expression, in the presence of the Master. Om. Let's gather in our garden. At the entrance, we stroll through arches of climbing roses, clusters of flowers in abundance overhead. Choose the colors that appeals to you. And as you stroll, let the roses gently caress your face. breathing in the delicate aroma of the cascading colorful roses percolating through the air. Small, lovingly trimmed emerald green bushes line the stony pathway, and hear the crunch of the little stones under our feet as we stroll under the arch. Along an embankment at the end of the archway, there are rows and rows of flowers, flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones of red, yellow, pink, white, all colors. And as we create these rows, we include our own favorite flowers. The blooms shed fresh petals on the path, creating a soft carpet for us to walk on, releasing their individual fragrances as we step on them. On the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony a lighthouse, standing tall and strong, shining beams of light in all directions as a symbol of our united group soul. And as we assemble there quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear, melodious notes, welcoming us to this unique space. And a choir of angelic voices sing a soft tune, accompanied by the sound of harps, divas gently strumming the chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun. Feel it on your head, on your cheeks, on your chest and on your back, warming you from the inside. In the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. These majestic trees cast their protective shadows on the grass as sunlight peeps through this peaceful garden. And we are told by DK that the eucalyptus trees are the most advanced in the vegetable kingdom. So it's right and fitting that they belong in our garden. Along the lighthouse, around the lighthouse, we see a large, quiet pool of crystal clear blue waters. Flowing from the pool, we see rivulets as we hear the gentle trickle of water. We also see 3 wider streams of golden water flowing steadily, and across them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool, float lotuses of all colors in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel. while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, all reflecting their light in the healing waters. Just beyond the pool, a hidden path leads to a cozy and serene corner. A chair or a bench and a small fountain containing supercharged, vitalizing water, perfumed by a single floating lotus, create the perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties or words of wisdom. Inhale the perfume of the flowers imbuing the air in that corner. Everything in that garden quivers with livingness, and you can bring in anybody that needs healing in this quiet corner. In the distance, we hear the soothing sound of water, and we follow it. We come to a tranquil pool where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills in the blue pool below, while bubbles of spray ricochet spiritedly in the air. Lush ferns alongside the rocks, draping in the water, enhance the serenity of the place, while the fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of surrounding trees brings warmth and invigorating energy to the area. In our mind's eye, we follow a pathway which leads us to flower beds. They are a riot of spring color of reds and creams and yellows and pinks of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle living stream among the trees. A row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed happily follows the path of the flowers as they release their subtle perfume. Butterflies flutter through the air with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and fragile wings are like floating petals, catching the light and twinkling like diamonds in the air. While buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, which looks like scintillating bright golden pixie dust. Nearby, the soft and gentle babble of the sound of the fountains reaches our ears. Lush green grass lines a gentle stream like a soft, velvety carpet. And in our imagination, we feel the coolness of the grass. The air is full of the sweet fragrance of the flowers in full bloom, adorning the fringes of the streams in this tranquil garden, quivering with life. This garden that we've just created is our garden, our group garden. Now let's take a moment to add a little corner which has our individual touch. Add the colors, unique features, and flora of your own country that you'd like to blossom in this serene space. Now let's invite the presence and cooperation of the healing Devas working under the Christ and Master DK. Visualize them in our garden, enlivening it with their magnetism. And sitting now quiescent, our hearts beating as one. Let's link up with each other as we say the healer's mantram aloud together with purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart. We offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group and to the ones we seek to heal. And you can nominate a few names as well as our fellow men, humanity in general. With our outer eyes closed, we open now our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light. We know that Master DK2 stands steady, pouring out upon us his love and strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We are now receptive to Master DK's radiant energy. The light of the lighthouse begins to shine brighter and brighter, intensifying gradually. And soon this light begins to take shape, and a definite figure appears. It is that of Master DK. So let us be impressed by powerful ways of cosmic love emanating from Master DK at the summit of our lighthouse, streaming through our harmonious group, irradiating the garden around us and imbuing it with a water of life and love. Now let's listen intuitively to the Master's words, imagining as if it's the Master talking to us, to our group. And let these words quench our thirst for loving understanding and touch our hearts to release healing and compassion. In Pisces, we have the fusion or blending of soul and form as far as man is concerned, producing the manifestation of the incarnated Christ and the perfected individual soul. The three keynotes of Pisces are bondage or captivity, renunciation or detachment, and lastly, sacrifice and death. In the first cycle of experience upon the wheel, the soul itself is in captivity to substance. It has come down into the prison house of matter and linked itself to form. Hence, for the ordinary, average, and undeveloped person, the word is go forth into matter. Hence the symbol of Pisces of the two fishes linked together by a band. One fish stands for the soul and the other for the personality or the form nature. And between them is to be found the thread or the sutratma, the silver cord that keeps them bound to each other throughout the cycle of manifested life. Later on, upon the reversed wheel, the personality is brought into captivity by the soul. This dual bondage is brought to an end by the final death, when the complete release of the life aspect from the form takes place. The soul renounces the life and light of the monad, its source, symbolized by the words of Father's home, and descends into the ocean of matter. The soul dies occultly by taking a physical form and being immersed in matter. And upon the reversal of the wheel, it proceeds to detach itself from the personality and reattach itself in consciousness to the one who sends it forth. Such is the climaxing story of Pisces. And at the final stage, Pisces stands for the death of the personality and the release of the soul from captivity and its return into the task of the world savior. So the word for the soul is, I leave my father's home, and turning back, I save. The lords of will and sacrifice come down into manifestation, sacrificing their high position and opportunities upon the higher planes of manifestation in order to redeem matter and raise the lives by which it is informed, that is, the lower creative hierarchies, to the status of themselves. This is the subjective purpose underlying the sacrifice of these divine lives, who are ourselves essentially, who are qualified by knowledge, love, and will, and animated by ceaseless, persevering devotion. Of this process, all the world's saviors, past, present, and to come, are the manifested symbols and the eternal guarantees. The life of service, and note the next couple of words, and the directed intention to serve. The life of service and the directed intention to serve constitute a scientific mode of achieving release. In Aquarius, the sign of world service, the lesson is finally learned, which produces the world savior in Pisces. Hence, DK tells us, my constant emphasis upon service. In Pisces, the process of transmutation begins. It is in this dual sign that the imprisoned soul and the personality enter upon that process which will transmute the lower nature into the higher manifestation, the lower psychical powers into the higher spiritual faculties, spiritual and mental inhibition into soul expression and mental sensitivity, devotion to the needs of the self into developed devotion and response to the needs of humanity. And lastly, attachment to environment into personality conditions, that is identification with form, into detachment from form, an ability to identify with the soul. Why? Because Pisces transmits the ray of love. This force, love, and rightly directed and properly controlled, is the great transmuting agency, which eventually will make of the human unit a master of the wisdom, a lord of love, a dragon of wisdom in lesser degree. Love enables the thinker who fully utilizes it to put himself en rapport with the essence of all selves at all stages. A Lord of compassion is one who by means of touch feels with, fully comprehends, and realizes the manner in which to heal and correct the inadequacies of the not-self, and thus actively to serve the plan of evolution. So in summary, the qualities of Pisces are compassion, healing, service, oneness of soul, group consciousness, and understanding, as well as sacrifice. The second sense of touch is preeminently the sense of very great importance in this, the second solar system, a system of astral Buddhic consciousness, and its correspondences on the higher planes being healing and active service. The ray of love and wisdom pours through three constellations: Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. In Pisces, the work is consummated and the will of the Father works out through the second ray will as the will to save. In Pisces, the Christ emerges as the world's Savior. You have then the whole story of unity brought about by the life and the will of the second ray, producing the emergence of the Christ consciousness and the appearing in objectivity of the Christ principle. I am the light of the world, said Christ, the world Savior. In Pisces, the sign of the world Saviors shines forth, the light of the world. This is the light, revealing the light of life itself. It ends forever the darkness of matter. And a study of light in all the signs reveals the symbolic story of the irradiation of matter, of the growth of the light body within the macrocosm and the microcosm, and finally make clear the purpose of the Logos. There is a group, the new group of world servers, who will bring salvation to the world and who will so stimulate and energize the minds and souls of men that the new age will be ushered in by an outpouring of the love, knowledge, and harmony of God Himself, as well as by the reappearance of the Christ. And those on the love aspect of the second ray, particularly the healers, tread one or other of the various paths, primarily that of the world saviors. They become the divine psychologists and world teachers, the Christ combining Himself all these three great traits. The basic sacrifice which the planetary Logos made was when he decided to incarnate or enter into the form of this planet. This was from pure choice, motivated by his fixed determination to function as the savior of the planet, in the same sense as the world saviors come forth for the salvaging of humanity. Sanat Kumara, our planetary Logos, is the prototype of all world saviors. Under this law of sacrifice, Sanat Kumara must turn his back upon the central spiritual sun, and with the light of his countenance, irradiate the path of the prisoners of the planet. He sentences himself to stay for as long as may be needed, acting as the sun and the light of the planet until the day be with us and the night of Pralaya descends upon his finished task. The law of sacrifice means also salvage and underlies all the evolutionary processes. The instinctual tendency is the one that itself governs the law of rebirth. This urge to sacrifice, to relinquish this for that, to choose one way or line of conduct, and thus sacrifice another way, to lose in order eventually to gain. Such is the underlying story of evolution. It is the major determining impulse which impelled the soul of God Himself to enter into form life. It is a governing principle of life itself and runs like a golden pattern of beauty through the dark materials of which human history is constructed. When this urge to sacrifice in order to win, gain, or salvage that which is deemed desirable is understood, then the whole clue to men's unfoldment will stand revealed. So let's visualize our lighthouse, symbol of our united soul group of world saviors, standing strong and detached in the middle of our garden as Master DK at the summit pours the sacrificial loving Piscean waters of life in the heart of every blade of grass, every flower, every lotus, every tree, every molecule of water and of air of our garden. Let's now make use of our garden by pouring the healing water of life and love in selfless and joyful service to the race of men. By visualizing the flow of unconditional love or the will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the spirit of peace, and the Lord Buddha, powering the Christ at the center, who blends these three qualities of love, will, and intelligence into one synthetic energy. Now superimpose this triangle on another triangle consisting of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group. Visualize these two triangles fusing and blending as we step down the energy of the will to good, the water of life, onto the earth, the soul level. And now let's superimpose these blended triangles on our group chakric triangle as we vitalize it. And it's made up of our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alta major. And see all these triangles blending, fusing to form one blended triangle, stepping down the will to good, the water of life, Buddhi, on the etheric plane. See this very clearly in your mind. And now direct the dispelling radiance via our group ajna, right eye, left eye triangle, and place the blended triangle, impressing it over the three planetary centers triangle, London, Geneva, and New York. As we see this will to good, the water of life, Buddhi, being distributed to the heart center of every human being throughout the planet via these three planetary centers. Strengthening the heart centers of our fellow men, strengthening the life within the form. Sound one Om and let the sound of the Om carry the will to good, the water of life and love into human hearts. And say the healer's mantra aloud in a low voice, saying it slowly and deliberately, believing in the results. Knowing that it is the will of the Logos. May the love of the one soul focused in this group radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. May they work as saviors of the seeds of life within all forms and identify with the essence of all selves. And may their will serve humanity selflessly. Now, just like Christ does, standing under the great pine tree in his garden at sunset, let's picture a great pine tree in our garden, and let's gather around the Christ, Master DK, and the healing ashram under this beautiful pine tree, saying the great invocation together as one group. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth and sound a blue Om as you visualize a shaft of light coming down on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. And sound again another blue Om as we see a stream of love pouring down on earth. Oh. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. And again, see a stream of Buddhi, will to good, pouring from Shambhala on earth as we sound a blue Om. Om. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Raise your clasp hands above the head and say, and so let it be, and help us to our bond. And now bring it down to your forehead and let your hands rest on your heart, holding the energy there, radiating out from that point. We know, O Lord of life and love, about the need. Touch our hearts anew with love, that we too may love and give. And may the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner plane what the sun is to the gardens of the world, a place of healing, of sacrifice, and of compassion for many.